am so excited about today's topic because y'all know I love to stir the pot a little bit. And I love that here at Black on the Job, we believe in stirring the pot in order to further our people. And so today's title, The Monetization of Ignorance, I really think that is necessary for us to discuss as a collective and how that shows up in the workplace. I feel like I need even a pillow down here. I'm looking short. And how that shows up in the workplace and how it keeps us being underpaid, right? And what I want to kind of preface this conversation around is how at one point in our career, being ignorant, weaponizing our incompetence, saying that we don't know anything, and playing damsel in distress does play to our benefit, right? Meaning, if you work a job to where they're not investing in you and you're okay with that because you're investing in yourself in other ways, and so shit, I'm gonna act like I don't see nothing, so I don't have nothing else to do. That is when it works in our favor if we have a plan set up. However, what I also know is that many times we are weaponizing our ignorance so much and we have monetized our ignorance for so long that we become poor because of our poor mind. And it shows up on your check. Okay. It shows up on your check. There's a time to where not knowing is priceless, pricey, expensive. Okay. Dom Perignon, okay, Gucci prices, okay. There is a time to where you not knowing means that you ain't going out. You not knowing, you not growing is holding you back from your coins. And the issue it becomes is that as we get older, we have more responsibilities because we own more stuff. We own more people. Y'all got these little human things going around called your children, right? We got these pieces of paper coming in the mail. It's called bills, okay? And so the how long you stay ignorant to things starts to have a decay in how your life ends up transgressing. And I kind of want to let's just be honest about it. Okay, let's just be honest about it. We have to kind of look at it from a broader spectrum. And sometimes the answer is, yeah, they didn't prepare you. Yeah, you didn't know. But there's a difference between you didn't do anything wrong, right? And what a mantra that I live by personally is that not only do I want to do nothing wrong, I don't want to be in the position to where someone could say, well, you didn't do anything right either, right? So it's like, no, you didn't do anything wrong, but you also didn't do anything right. My friend told me this the other day. She was talking about somebody and she said, girl, she got older but never grew. And a lot of us have stunted our professional growth. And we look up one day, you 35 plus, and you like, well, I no, I never attended any conferences. No, I did not have any professional development. No, I never got a resume done. No, but I couldn't. I was working. I was doing this. I was doing that. And we think that at that point, it's no longer weaponizing competence. It's real life. But now you're not competent and it is a weapon, but the weapon is just being used against you because it's only impacting you and how you show up. And you weaponizing competence for so long that you realize that this whole time it was self-destructive and is not as destructive as you think it is towards companies and other people. It's only destroying yourself because you're only limiting yourself. And that's sometimes the hard part, right? That's sometimes the hard part to kind of come to terms with. Have you ever worked with somebody at an office and their number one thing is that they don't know? right? And so every time, let's say you're a manager or let's say you're a coworker, every single time it's time for this person to get something done, they just act like they barely know their name. They're dropping stuff, they don't understand, they're confused, they don't get it. And as Black women, you don't got the privilege to be a white woman. And as Black men, you don't have the privilege of being a white man. And so you want to have the confidence of a mediocre white man, but no one told you to be mediocre. We told you the exact opposite. We said we have to be twice as good to get half, but you took the confidence of the mediocre white man and you decided to become mediocre. You couldn't become the white man. And we have to, at some point, be honest with ourselves and say that maybe it's ourselves that hold ourselves back. It's just the truth. Love always says, I don't know, but then they complain about the job in progress. Yeah, I want to say something. I definitely think that it is a thing that there's a lot of times that managers micromanage, but I also want to say that from a manager's perspective, a lot of you guys need to be micromanaged. You can't do anything. You take no responsibility, absolutely no accountability. The moment something fails is, well, I didn't know. I didn't get training. Nobody told me. Well, how was I supposed to know? I didn't know the expectations. And so you live in this world to where you never have to take accountability for your wrongdoing or what you did not get done. And so now the next time a project comes about, did you do that? Oh my gosh, I can't stand this micromanagement. Stop being a person that has to be managed on a microscopic level. Because if you have to be handhold after the third year you're at a company, you got to at some point say, okay, I put myself in that position. And we all have done that before. I'm thinking, life happens or we get beside ourselves. But at some point in your career, you monetize ignorance. But at some point in your life, you realize the money you made was super cheap. You took the cheap route out. You did not do that investment. And so when it comes to progression and moving up, it can become a reflection. I am not saying that we don't have our plights, our issues, and all of the sorts. Absolutely. Are these companies racist? Absolutely. Are there times to where you're targeted? Absolutely. Are there times to where you should have been promoted? Absolutely. I also realized there was a time that you were offered opportunities, you didn't take them, that Google is free, that you are someone who's been in this Facebook group for 5 years, making $14 an hour and still ain't signed up for a $30 resume review. I don't care if you say $5 a year, girl. I'm not about to sit here on this call and act like you just was so downtrodden that you didn't have $30 in the last 5 years, girl. Let's get it together. I'm not about to sit here and lie for you. You got to understand that at some point, you're only hurting yourself. And it's important to understand that so that we can move on and figure out, like, okay, I hurt myself. Now I need to help myself. Right? It's like Alcohol Anonymous. They say the very first thing you got to do is admit that you're an alcoholic. Right? At some point, you got to admit that, damn, I do be acting like I don't know shit, huh? Okay, I'm going to put it away now. Let me figure it out. At some point, you got to say, well, you're right. The job did tell me about, that they will pay if I got certified. And I didn't feel like giving them any of my time. Some others did. And so they were able to use that certification to get promoted. I made a bad decision. We actually be truth. Like, let's actually have a conversation. I've had many opportunities pass me by. I had many opportunities I didn't take. I've had many opportunities to where I allowed my ego, my emotions, my attitude, my entitlement to get in the way. Absolutely. I'll give you a prime example. Dr. Miller, my sister, is a Howard graduate. I am a Howard dropout. She helped me. She flew down there, got me into school, made sure I had a nice little, housing situation. She did all of that. I did not take advantage of the opportunity in front of me. Was I a foster child? Yes. Did I had a lot of issues going on? Yes. Did my parents not show up? Yes. But guess what else? I did not show up either. Was it within my capacity? I don't know, but I was capable and I did not. And that's okay. I'm a college dropout. Okay. I dropped out of college. Okay. I know that there's certain opportunities that are not for me now. But I have to be honest with that. I can't go around and act like that those of you guys who did attend those four-year universities who are in the same exact position at me, I'm not the first foster child to drop out, nor am I not the first foster child to graduate either. Right? I have to be honest with myself and say, well, shit, I fucked up. Okay, move on. I did it. I did not do it. I did not want to. I did not feel like it. I couldn't at the time. Wasn't within my capacity. I was ignorant. I didn't understand the long-term impact on my decisions that I were making. I didn't understand how this will show up later in life. I did not understand how this will add more hurdles and obstacles. I got to be honest with myself first. If you're not even going to get there, you can't get no further, because I think that freedom is important, but freedom has to be maintained, controlled, and caretook of. And sometimes our freedom of choice, we think that because we have the freedom of choice, that we are remitted of the consequences. And you have to understand that very first thing, that you made that choice. And so whatever choice you made, sometimes you got to gobble up the consequence that comes with it. And that shows up in the workplace. Okay. Erica said, the nice thing is you can always go back, and a lot of universities have virtual offers. Erica, let me tell you, I am a serial college dropout. Okay. Girl, the issue is that I didn't take responsibility of my education, not even in high school. I graduated at the top of my class with over, I think it was 45 absences. No one should allow me to run amok like that. It's truly my mama and daddy fault. God rest his soul. Because I never was taught the discipline of going to school every day. I was someone since actually middle school. I was very known, and it was a part of my practice to miss 2 to 3 days within a month, every single month. Because if I didn't feel like going to school, my parents did not make me go to school. And because they never made me go to school, I adopted the terrible habit that if I didn't feel like going to school, I don't want to go to school, so I don't have to go to school. And I carried that mentality into my adult life, and it caused me to become a person who has the entitlement and ego that once I'm done with this lesson, I tell you when I'm done with the school, you don't tell me. I know my issue, girl. I'm a serial college dropout. Girl, it's terrible. I'm in good company. I accept it. I know that there are certain fields I cannot work in. Girl, the healthcare industry look at me crazy. Okay. The education industry too. It's very difficult. It does even cause issues with Black on the job. I had to make workarounds for that. I have to pay consultants who do and did have the discipline and consistency when I do get university contracts and things like that, because this is a place of knowledge. And so when I do have contracts to do development, professional development, things like that, I now have to eat that. And I may have to pay one of my, more senior consultants who have higher education the money to teach a workshop that I have the knowledge to teach. But now I need to pay the piper, because if you're not going to pay on the front, you eventually pay on the back. And I'm okay with that. I didn't come out too bad. I accept it. It's nothing to feel sorry about. It is what it ain't. I ain't got a degree. And that's just that. Okay. There's a lot of people who do have a degree. There's a lot of people who don't. I could never run for president, I don't think. I think they got a degree on that one too. But it is what it ain't. I accept it. And because I know what my and factor is, right? I'm a Black and woman and a college dropout. So I'm a Black and woman and high school diploma are and factors. I navigate the world with those and factors. And so I say, okay, New York University wants Black on the jobs to come in and do a speaking engagement, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Hi, guys. My name is Admin Sin. I can come in and do X, Y, and Z. I also have on my staff our lead curriculum developer, Dr. Miller, comma, PhD. I got to pay my sister for that coin. Okay. Hi, I have Michelle Johnson. She's one of our senior career coaches here. Michelle, comma, MS, MPH. You get what I'm saying? I work around it. I'm okay with it. I'm totally fine with it. I just understand that. I know that there's consequences for my actions. Now, the consequence may be small because of who I am today, but if that consequence was this big or this big, it's mine. And it's based off my choices. Then I'm okay with those outcomes. Doing it without a degree. Okay. So we always went to college in your 40s. Don, maybe I'll change my mind one of these days. Maybe I'll change my mind and be able to do so. So when you're looking at the companies that you work for, right, and the opportunities that are presented before you, whether you took that opportunity or not, understand what comes with both choices, right? We can always, you know, for our churchy people, y'all see what the pastor did. I'm just playing. We have to take accountability. Some of us be like, if God wanted me to have an opportunity, he would have gave it to me. That's not how that works. There's a such thing called free will. Sometimes God presents you with the opportunity and he allowing you to decide if you want it or not. And versus whether you want it or not determines how he helps you and what's your next course of action. Y'all, we can't do that. We can't be like, well, if God wanted me to have that job, I would have had that job. What are you talking about, sis? You showed up 20 minutes late to the interview in some flip-flops. Even if God wanted you to have that job, what you wanted him to do? Give you a Moses moment and part the sea? What the hell going on around here? Well, I'm just letting my steps be ordered. No, you're not. How you letting your steps be ordered when you don't even follow step-by-step directions? You know you lying. Don't do that. Don't be relying on the Lord in those ways. It's not worth it. We have to take that accountability so that we can know how to navigate the next step. Right. Prayers without works is dead. Yes, our habits of our childhood follow us forever. And they don't have to, right? You can always put yourself in a position to where you address those things. So, a few weeks ago, we discussed the different levels within the workplace. And I want us to keep that in mind. And I want us to kind of look at how each of the different within the organizational structure, how those duties show up. And then I want to bring on a few of you guys so that we can discuss where your career is now and how we can look at what we did and what we did not do in order to move forward and how we can move forward with our new knowledge. Okay. So put a B in the chat if you were here when we talked about the organizational structure. Put a B in the chat. Who was in here when we were talking about the organizational structure? Okay. All right. So a few of y'all were. Okay. So let's talk about how this shows up. Okay. So we have a few different levels of um, organizational structure. And I was doing this today when I was training my writers. And was that when you said lead was a made up position? Yep, Ariel, lead and supervisor. Lead and supervisor. Hey, Ariel. Okay. And we're going to be discussing what each level of business requires. And this is our organizational structure. I keep telling y'all I'm going to make this into a pamphlet, but I promise y'all I'm going to do it today. I'm actually going to upload this live onto our Facebook. I'm sorry, into our YouTube. And in the show notes, we will add that information. So let me make this a little bit bigger. So this is a traditional organizational structure. Okay, traditional organizational structure. So at the top of a company, We have our C suite positions. And usually there's one of each, and they get paid to be, right? That's what I said. As a chief executive officer of Black on the Job, my salary is for my being. I get paid the salary as an employee of this company. I am getting paid to exist. That is what I'm getting paid to. Don't take it up with me. Take it up with someone else. As someone who works in the C-suite, I am getting paid to be. Usually, and that's going to be chief of marketing, chief of operations, chief executing officer, finance, tech, HR. Your paycheck is the largest in these positions because your existence is truly what the payment is for. And it's because you were able to move through so many other duties to get to where you are today. Now, am I saying that every CEO deserves this? No. But I'm telling you, in a normal structure, we're not talking about any toxicity. Our duties when you're at the C suite is to strategize, but to come up with a strategy. Not really. You're not really strategizing. You're coming up with ideas, you're giving final directives. You are creative, right? You are a visionary. You are a risk taker. And this pretty much is all you're getting paid to do in this position. Okay. What do I mean by that? As a CEO of Black on the Job, I come up with this wild ass, outlandish ideas of what I want out of my company, right? So every single one of you guys are in this Facebook Live today because one great idea 7 years ago almost, I said, well, if I could just like have like a platform where I can like teach everybody, then I can like change the Black economy. That's an idea, right? I just gave you my creative objective. I then got to rally up the troops. Okay, so like open up a Facebook group and start adding people, and I got to paint out. I have to be the person with the vision, right? And I got to be somebody that's willing to take risk. And so when you're in these positions, these are truly where your duties lie. Now, I'm talking that about this portion of your title, right? This portion of your title is how you guys want to move up, right? So you're like, well, Sam, I was an assistant, but now I want to be a marketing manager, right? I'm a marketing assistant and I want to be a marketing manager. So I'm talking about this portion of your title that tells me where you are in the organizational structure so that I can determine what your salary is, okay? So, no matter if you're chief of marketing, operation, execution, finance, technology, or HR, this is why you're getting paid. The chief technology officer may say something like, well, we need to get the company to a point to where every single process that we have is automated and that there is no loose paper and everything is digitized by 2027. So I need to speak to my directors to have them do X, Y, and Z and paint them the vision and let them know that this is the objective and these are the risks that are involved when I came up with this idea. Same thing with HR, same thing with everything else. When you are in the chief position, you're getting paid top dollar for being the person who can create ideas, dream, play, grow, take risk. It's a crazy ass idea for me to say, well, I want to get every Black person to six figures and I want a company that we're only charging a third of the cost of everybody else. And I want to be the biggest career development company in the world. That's what I get paid to do, right? I want to be the biggest company in the world. And then I got to tell everybody how we're going to get that shit done. So I am being paid the most because favor ain't fair. Moses didn't ask for the dream. Moses didn't ask to talk to the bush. The bush came and talked to Moses, right? This is how the CEOs and the founders of companies are made. The rest of these are going to be within their respective fields. And even for CEO, they're actually the ones who are able to take risk more than others, and they're not afraid to execute. Most of you guys will say, how many of you guys will say, I have a fear of failure, or I get frozen by fear? How many of you guys will say you have a fear of failure? How many of you guys say, well, Sin, I have a fear of failure, or I get frozen? How many of you guys would say that you're the person that has anxiety when it comes to being responsible for something? Or, you know what, Sin, sometimes I get a little anxious when I got to make decisions. How many of you guys get anxious when you make decisions? Or sometimes those decisions kind of get you frozen in place. And I should see a lot of y'all, because 99% of y'all Facebook posts that y'all got pending right now is about how you scared to do something. So I know good and well that a lot of y'all constantly talk about you got a fear of failure. Okay? Yes, you're paid to be. Be. We have a fear of failure. We have a fear of failure. Yes, get paid to be. Be the person who can come up with an idea. Be the person who can still dream and create. Be the person who's willing to have a vision and take risk. The person that can be, the person that can take full responsibility and ownership if all this shit burns down in a dumpster fire. Right? Okay, fear of failure. It's okay. It's okay. That fear has to be matured out. That fear has to be addressed so that you could take more risk and that you're okay with having a vision. How many of you guys get frozen if you feel lost, if you don't have a plan in front of you? How many of you guys need a plan in order to get something done? Right? How many of you guys need a plan in order to get something done? You gotta be able to see step by step how this gonna work out in order for you to pull the trigger. How many of you guys can say, you know what? I ain't the type to build the plane world flash. I am not your shotgun. You know, how many of y'all say, no, I'm not your rider. I gotta know where we going. How many of you guys would say that? Like, you know what, girl? I'm not down for all that just wishy-washy mess. I gotta know what's going on. You got to put a plan in place for me to, in order for me to follow. You can't leave me with no plan. That's crazy as hell. Now, if there's a plan, I can get it done, but I need a plan. Okay. Some of us need a plan. Chiefs don't need a plan. I don't need no plan. I got a vision. I just need a platform. I got the vision. I just need a platform. That's me. I don't have a plan. I didn't have a plan. No, chief financial officer. They gotta create the vision, and then I gotta first see where I want to go, and then I map out backwards. I work backwards as a CEO. I work backwards. I don't move forward. I don't have a plan, and then I'm executing that plan. No, I come up with a vision, and then I map it out. Okay. So when you're in these positions, these are your type of duties, and you're not having many reports. Your reports are really anywhere between 1 to 5. And if you have 5 reports as a chief anything, you must have a multi-million dollar company you're working for. Okay. And Ariel, that is a totally honest thing. Ariel says, I want them to be great and not guide them the wrong way. Girl, let me tell you, I done guided this ship into a damn boulder. Okay. I have flown black on the job into the Twin Towers. Okay. I done burnt this thing up a few times. I done messed up systems, processes, workflows, money, people. I didn't fire the wrong people. I've hired the wrong people. I've trained people the wrong way. I've not trained people at all. I have done, well, it's risky business. Chief of HR has done that. You may thought your vision was clear, girl. You didn't put your glasses on. You gotta, you when you in these positions, girl, you gotta fall all the way on your sword and then pull it out, heal yourself, and say, well, shit, that was crazy. Whoopsie. I thought that I was gonna knock that one out the park. Guess I did it. All right. Sucks to be me. And then deliver that terrible news to everybody else and go to sleep and dream again. So, yes, I get paid be, to be the person who will follow my sword, pull it out, cauterize my wounds, and keep going. Imagine you chief of marketing at Twitter and Elon Musk is your boss. What the fuck are we doing over here? You getting paid $250,000 a year to make sure that dumpster fire doesn't take X down in flames. All right, guys, I see the vision. We're going to change the name to X. We're going to do a paid subscription. And then what we're going to do is we're going to market this to where, they're going to start up at like a penny or something. By 6 months, we should have pulled in an additional $50 billion with as many users as we got. I got this. Boom. That's the vision, right? And then we do that. And guess what? Nobody want to call Twitter X. Boo, we're not paying for a subscription. Screw your blue check mark. Boo, we don't want it. And I done threw all this money behind this, and I done sold this to the CEO, and I done talked to the stock and stakeholders, and they done gave me some extra money backing it. And now I done screwed over about $50 million in this X campaign. And they like, we ain't DMX. No, we don't want to ride. What do you guys think? This is 21 Savage. What's going on? We don't want this. Thank you, Jamie. I'm going to show you right now how to get there. Let me open this door. Not this door, my doggy door. But while I open this doggy door, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Does that make sense on why these positions are paid to be? Who said, oh, yeah, girl, I can see it? Or who said, no, I don't see it? What y'all see? Hi, baby. Y'all get it now? Y'all see why I say get paid to be? Get paid to be? Right? Now, when we're looking at transitioning into this, right? One of the things I talked about, which is the most important thing, is being the person who can still dream. That's what I tell people. If you want to be in a C-suite position, I know it sounds so fluffy and cliche, and I'm going to give you some more tangible. But in order to be a chief, you got to know how to be a child. All right? Write that in the comments. In order to be a chief, you got to be a child. What do you mean by that, Sin? Have you ever saw somebody badass little boy or your badass little boy who with all of the love and confidence in themselves, they are at the top of your stairs, arms open wide, and they said, I watched that last episode of Superman and I can fly, and they want to jump off. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen one of your children get on the tallest tree of the trees of trees, and they got this vision of them flying through the sky, and they didn't talk themselves up, and them and had a conversation. Hey, we could definitely, like, okay, so I know that Spider-Man got bit by a spider, but I just bit myself. I'm kind of like a spider sometimes. I got 2 legs, maybe it's 8 legs. I don't know. I'm about to climb this tree and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And then woo! So in order to be a chief, you got to be a child, because you got to still have that innocence in you, that you still see the beauty in the world, to where you're willing to take risk to actually put into tangible physical proof in front of you the things that people can only dream. Okay, Diatonique. You get what I'm saying, Che Harris? Imagine if you had the confidence of your son, Che, of your son, Diatonique, of your son or someone you saw, Melvina. Imagine if you had the confidence in your profession that your child had when he decided that he could do backflips off of a 4-foot oak tree. Imagine if you had that confidence, right? Where would one get that confidence in? I ain't trying to open up no business, girl. Screw y'all. I want to move up the ladder, right? You get that when you're in this position, director level. As a director, you get paid to think, right? You are directing. The CEO told you, the CEO of technology told you his idea was to get everyone, all the offices across the different partners out of paper and everything digitized by 2025. And so now you, director of technology, now have to have a strategic plan on how to get that done, right? That anxiety is what you need in order to be a CEO, when that anxiety is replaced with excitement, you ready. When you turn your anxiety to excitement, I don't know the difference. I don't be knowing if I'm anxious or if I'm excited. I don't know if I'm anxious or thrilled, right? So when you're at the director level, though, you got to come up with a plan for these crazy ass ideas, right? And the thing is that through the strategic planning, you're truly having to come up with what? Creative solutions. You got to start thinking outside of the box. That's why you're getting paid to think. Because I'm getting paid to be a child, to dream, to come up with a vision, to come up with new ideas. And you got to find a way to figure out where's the creative side in you. And your creative side has to go through strategic planning. And what happens is through directorship, one day while you're planning, guess what? You start to have an idea, right? Because a thought is an idea. So when you start thinking outside the box and coming up with new thoughts that weren't directed, and so you start coming up with your ideas, you then start having more creative projects that will lead you to a C-suite position, because now we can talk about the creative ideas that you thought about while you were strategically planning, and we can flesh that out on your resume, and baby, we got us a CEO. We got us a chief technology officer. Maybe through the the process of coming up with getting the entire company digitized, you thought, okay, so I want to get everybody digitized. I'm going to go department by department and see where their papers are and do this and that. Oh, but you know what else? What happened if, if you ask how you get switched over? I'll show you right now. Right? It's if what happens if while I'm getting everybody from paper to digital, I created training programs. So you know what? I'm just going to see if we can also have training and development, a SharePoint kind of thing for each department too, so that as new people come in and they need to know how we do things, we now have that problem. We now have that process. Now you're thinking like a chief technology officer, because now you're saying that not only are we going to have this damn company from paper and digitize it by 2025, baby, by 2024, all of our trainings is remote. if I do that, guess what else? I'm gonna talk to HR. Can we start making this a part of our hiring and onboarding? Can we just create digitization across the entire people strategy? Uh-oh. Now I'm director of technology and I'm collaborating with the director of HR, and now I got another if. Okay, if we do that, huh? I wonder if those ifs get you promoted. Okay? How many of those, how much did that make sense for people? How do you go about being strategic? Disciplined, planning. Strategy is about understanding risks, forecast, and contingency. So we'll talk about that next. Let me first see, did y'all get how you go from director to chief? Did y'all get that part so far? Right? Then we'll talk about strategy and how to be more strategic. But who did that make sense to so far? When you get a resume done by Black on the Job, of course, that is what we concentrate on when we're having those resume review calls, that little $30 service that y'all act like y'all can't afford, some of y'all. That is what we're focused on. We're focused on the new ideas that you brought to the company that expanded the company. And so when I'm speaking to directors who want to go into consulting or C-suite positions, I'm looking for their ifs, right? Because if you're able to start doing all of that and you're able to sustain those projects, you also were able to understand the risk it will take to digitize everything and the risk it will take to do training and development and to redesign the people strategy. And you've already visualized how to have contingency plans around it, because as a director, you're already in charge of risk analysis and forecasting and contingency planning and all that stuff. So as you're saying, well, if we do this and if we do that, you already have the thought process of a strategy thinker, as a person who's able to understand business risk and allocation and how much money it's going to cost us and how this is going to impact the culture and how is this going to impact the teams and how long it's going to take for us to get it done and what's the plan that we're going to have to put in place. So you already understand the directing portion of that beautiful idea you came up with. So when you're in that resume review, we're asking, okay, what have you done in your career that you're proud of? And you start giving us these if ideas you came up with. We take that director's if and we utilize that to propel them into CEO. Because remember, I told you guys that skills pay bills, right? Skills pay bills. Put that in the chat. Skills pay bills. Soft skills are for promotions. Hard skills are for career transitions. Soft skills are for promotions. She's using her soft skill of strategic planning to start having ideas, and that's what's going to get her promoted. Okay? Now, how do I become someone who understands strategy, right? Because this strategy is going to be the green light for money. So I'm going to put it in green because I'm going to show you guys strategy all the way down the pipe, right? Strategy comes from being able to understand the goal, the objective. So if you want to be strategic, you first got to know what the objective is. After you know what the objective was, you got to start thinking, what happens if we don't meet that objective? Or what happens if that objective causes other issues? And what are those other issues that they cause? And how can we prepare for it? Right? So until you learn strategy, right, you become a strategic person when you understand what is your goal, the company's goal. What is the goal? What is the goal? Right? When you are somewhat, strategy equals problem finder and solver, right? That's when you're thinking strategic. Can you understand what the goal is? After you understand what the goal is, can you understand why the goal exists? What the hell? Why the hell are we trying to get everybody digitized by 2025 anyway? What's the point? Right? Why does the goal exist? Right? And then what can happen if the goal doesn't work out? Right? Risk. What happens? How much is goal gonna cost us? Right? This is when you're not the child, you the mama. Your child said, let's go to McDonald's. You said, do you got McDonald's money? Why did you say, do you got McDonald's money? Right? Why did you say that? Because you understand that the goal is to keep the food budget within the budget, right? And you know that if we start spending outside of our food budget, we start messing up our bill money. So you talking about going to McDonald's and you messing up the church's money, honey, right? That's a strategy. When a black mama says, "Do you got McDonald's money?" That is a strategic question. We laugh about it, but black women actually are the best directors in the world. Best directors in the world. Black women make the best directors by far and large. And this is someone with a high school diploma, but who has studied extensively industrial organizational psychology, the behavior of people in the workplace. Black women are strategic. We are constantly understanding, well, why do we got this going on anyway? What is up with this? Mm-hmm. So so you think that we about to be spending all of our money on from some fast food? Okay. Why would I sit here and spend all my money on fast food on a Tuesday and it's the 10th of the month? And we know good and goddamn well that my next check don't hit to the 22nd. Okay. And we sit here, I got two kids in the back. Both they badass want to bring their hungry ass friends. So that's four of them. All four of them, they don't know how to act. They ain't gonna be on a dollar menu. They gonna want a regular menu. So all four of them want to spend $10 of my money a piece. That's 4 times 10. That's 40. That food not even gonna fill them up. By the time we pull out the parking lot, they black ass is gonna be hungry again. So then they gonna go home and eat up all my snacks. And them snacks gotta stretch me to the 22nd. So not only am I gonna be out $40, that's my little $40 I had in that little glove compartment for tomorrow for gas. So now we about to eat up all my food, waste up all my money, and waste up all my time. Absolutely not. That's strategy. Y'all laugh about it, but that is called strategy. Who understood strategy from that angle? Who is a strategic thinker? Now that I broke it down like that, which one of y'all are a strategic thinker? How many strategies do you think you come up with in a given day? Right? Okay. That's what strategy is, right? Now, when you start having the if factor, is where mama has some time to think about it and say, well, you know what? If I if next time I go to the grocery store, I pick up them frozen chicken nuggets and them frozen French fries. I probably could stop by Costco. I get paid on the 22nd. Huh. What I can do is I can stop at Costco on the 24th and I can get a big bag of chicken nuggets and a big bag of French fries. And I'll section it out into three different little lunches. And so what I'll do is, and I'll throw them in the air fryer. So what I let them know is that next time that they get in the car, I let them know that, hey, I took some chicken nuggets and French fries out. So when we get home, we'll have some chicken nuggets. So boom, there goes that if. Now you coming up with new ideas. Okay. Now you are using your contingency planning and your risk analysis and your forecasting to try to figure out a way to standardize chicken nuggets into your diets, right? Now you're getting creative, right? Now you're looking at the risk. Well, shit, I can't do it this check, but I probably could. You know what? I'll work an extra 2 hours this week and 2 hours next week. That's an extra 4 hours. And I'll use that 4 hours to have a little bit extra money so that we can start having chicken nuggets on Wednesdays when the kids have early release. I could do that. Okay, Nigeria. She said, "Oh yes, I do that." Okay, y'all do that? Y'all be doing that? Because that's what I be doing. Y'all be doing that, right? So that's how you learn strategy. You got to be the problem finder and solver. Let me tell you, as a CEO, I'm the problem maker. I make the problem. I'm a problem maker. I'm the problem child. I am the problem. I'm the problem child. I just come up with some bullshit. That's why we be looking at these CEOs of these big companies, the Elon Musk, the Steve Jobs, these billionaire quadrillionaires, and we like, are you hello? Is there anything in your brain? You just keep like causing all these issues. Like, my God, who let Elon on Twitter? He's supposed to be a problem child. He's getting paid to be the problem. That's what I am. I'm a problem child. All I do is think of some shit to mess up or think of some shit to get done. Yeah, guys. So I want to do like a $50 DIY resume workshop. I want to have 250 bees and I want to teach them all resumes in like 2 weeks. What? Sid? What are you talking about? Yeah, that's what I want to do. So, uh, yeah, chief of market, director of marketing, website people, make the website, HR people. Y'all need to find me some moderators and stuff. Marketing people. I don't know. Y'all gotta. I don't know. But I want 250 people in 2 weeks on a Saturday, and we write resumes. Yay! Said, why do you want to do that? I want to do a TEDx, and I want to have Google start donating their different university certificates to us. So if we keep having these big classes to where all these people are getting more jobs and more people getting jobs and more people getting jobs and more people are getting jobs, then we could attract these big like universities who will then give us certificates, and then more people get better jobs, and it's better pizza, better ingredients. Papa John's, get it done. Okay, bye guys. I'm off to Aruba. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks for our DIY resume workshop. That's what I do. I get paid to be. And guess what I do? I just show up. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Oh, guys, I got a new idea. Let's try. Oh, guys, I got a new idea. Let's try. Oh, guys. So I was thinking that maybe that I'm telling you guys, I am a child, the problem child, right? And then I need somebody to think about the problems that I didn't came up with. And I need them to find other problems for problems that I just gave them and solve the problems I gave them and find how those problems found more problems and solve them too. Right? That's why. So now, this is where, and directors, they will probably manage about 5 to 10 managers. Uh, right? Then we get to management level, right? And management is where you are supposed to drown and damn near die. Managers are supposed to, and I'm using these words for a reason, managers are supposed to be overworked and underpaid. How many of you guys have a manager title and feel like you're overworked and underpaid? How many of you guys feel overworked and underpaid as a manager? It's not about changing careers because it's about this portion. Remember, Jamie? That's what I was discussing. That we're not discussing this portion, we're discussing this portion, right? Managers, overworked and underpaid. Why? Because they have three different areas that they have to be responsible for at all times. They have to have people, operational, and quality solutions. They are the problem solvers, right? As a manager, your job is to be, let me see where I put that on this one, get paid to think. As a manager, you get paid to solve problems, right? That's manager of all these different things. And let me see, that gap is going to bother me. Right? So you have to manage a few different areas in order to solve those problems. You have to have people solutions, and that's across the board. If you are a finance manager, you're still having to have people solutions, right? Whenever you say manager, just put problem at the end of your title. You're the HR problem solver. You're the marketing problem solver. You're the finance problem solver. You're the technology problem solver. You're the operational problem solver. You're the project problem solver. Because you got to have people solutions around performance, training, coaching, mentoring, selling objectives, strategic communication. You have to have operational solutions, time and resource management, budget management, risk and crisis management. You got to have quality management, people quality, tech quality, process improvement and implementation, leading, driving solutions, project quality. You got to be a problem solver. Why? Because guess who's coming over here? This director is always thinking, and sometimes she comes up with some ideas, right? We talked about the ifs. And so now you're getting paid to solve all these problems. If you're a finance manager, you're not just looking at finance because people are everywhere and people create problems, right? So, as a manager, you have to be able to swim while drowning. Put that in the chat. If you're a manager and you're trying to move up to a director, you got to learn how to swim while you drown. Put that in the chat. Swim while you drown. It seems impossible. Impossible. Put that in the chat. Swim while you drown. If you're a manager, you're looking to be a director, I'm going to tell you right now, you got to learn how to swim while drowning. Swim while drowning. Swim while drowning. Swimming, right? Swimming means you got to be able. Let's talk about drowning first. Drowning. You're drowning in freaking problems and people. Hold on. Okay, my bad, y'all. You got to be able to, you're drowning in problems as all times as a manager. You're always drowning in problems. What problems am I drowning in? You're drowning in all of the problems that the director has directed you with, and all of the people you got to manage who is not taking who ain't drinking the juice. Because you're always trying to sell the objectives as a manager, as a sales manager, project manager, finance manager, HR manager. You show me a manager and I'll show you a sales agent. Hey, team, how's it going today? Okay, so upper management came down, and we are going to have to remove our Saturday shift. So unfortunately, we're going to have to stay in the office later on Fridays. But guys, I want you to know that if we get to goal by December, I am definitely asking for our salary raises. We are on track, guys. We are almost there. Let's say, for instance, you work in finance, right? Let's say you're a finance manager. Okay. You're always selling the objective. As a finance manager, you are out here talking about, all right, guys, even if it's not, you're the finance manager, you're like, well, I just speak to upper management. Okay, you got to sell the objective. Okay, so I know that you said that you wanted every employee to have their own chat GPT. That's going to cost us $14.95 an employee. The problem is we have 10,000 employees. So when we're looking at the budget, this is going to blow our technical budget out the water. And I don't want us to not be able to afford our updates in our back office. So what I'm proposing is that we give 7 licenses per department. This will reduce our cost from $42 million to about $8 million. And what we could do is we could budget $500,000 additionally for anybody else who may need additional licenses, to where the max number per department is 10. What do you think about that? Yes. Guess what that's called? That is called selling the objective and strategic communication, right? You're drowning. Now, Sin, what's the swimming? The swimming is this. This is where you start swimming to the dollars. When you start learning how to manage risks, right? But you got to be able to deal with a bunch of bullshit, right? You start learning your creativity here when you start learning how to sell stuff better and better and better, better pizza, better ingredients, Papa John's. When you start using creativities and start thinking and coming up with ideas on how to sell the objectives and how to influence the people to get it done. As a CEO, I'm always influencing, right? I'm an influencer, right? I have this great idea, guys. This is me selling my idea. So if you want to one day go into the C-suite, you got to learn how to sell an objective. Can you sell an objective? Call center manager, sales manager, HR manager. If you need a bigger budget, can you sell me that? Are you able to sell ice to an Eskimo? You selling pigs to Muslims or not? How good can you get an objective done while drowning? Can you swim to shore while managing all these things? And you have the largest team and you're working the longest hours and you're making the least bit of money. Can you pull through? Right? And guess what? There may be one of each in the C-suite level, maybe 1 to 2 each of director level. Y'all gonna have 50 million managers. And guess why? Because managers, many times, that is the litmus test. You can't swim while drowning because it sounds damn near impossible. So you get stuck right here. You get stuck in the drowning and you never swim. You never learn how to sell things creatively. You never start thinking about you can manage the risk, but you've never started planning ahead for risks that are yet to come. So you don't never plan out. Okay, so I already know that Sasha don't show up on Tuesdays, right? Sasha and Jasmine don't show up on Tuesdays with their raggedy asses. If they don't show up on the Tuesday that we got that damn board meeting, we are out of here. I gotta figure out a way to make sure that their project deliverables are done on time, because the last thing I want to do is hear from upper management that we didn't do our shit. So I don't want to I don't want to manage this risk and crisis no more. I want to avoid it. So you get out of this when you stop managing risk and you start avoiding them. You start avoiding problems. Avoiding. Guess how you avoid problems, right? By planning ahead, understanding, risk analysis. That's these skills. You got to start honing in on these skills here. But you got to do that while you're drowning. You got the largest team as a manager. Your ass as a manager can have 10 direct reports and 15 indirect reports for a team of 25. That director got you and your homegirl. But as a manager, you can have a coordinator, 5 coordinators under you, 3 assistants under you, 2 of this, 2 of that, 1 of this. You working the most amount of hours, and you're still trying to juggle everything that the company is throwing your way, and you're being paid to solve all these problems. So now you want me to think about the problems that don't even exist and solve them too? Yeah, baby, I want you to start thinking so I can get you paid to think. I'll give, and Jamie, you got a very good question earlier about how do you get to director point. Let me tell you how you get out of how to know if you've been in management too long. If you've been a manager for over 5 years and you have not moved into senior management, you either are terrible at people solutions or you're terrible at operational solutions or you're terrible at quality solutions and management. You either don't know how to manage quality, operations, or people. And when you come into our career coachings, we ask you about your work ethic and all that, your goals, your accomplishments, and all of that stuff. And based on that, we then decide which of these are weak point. If you have a weak point, help you train for that. And then after we figure out what your weak points is and all that stuff and help you train for that, we strengthen your management so that you can learn how to swim while drowning, so you can swim yourself over to directorship in 6 figures. Who did that make sense to? Who did that make sense to? Let me make sure I see the comments. Go back into events. That's the big difference, right? Okay. So we got to start thinking, you know how your mom and them told you to dress for the job you want? I'm going to tell you right now, think for the job you want. 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 Right? If you are a manager and you come into the career coaching and you've been a manager for 7, 8, 9 years, and we're asking you, oh, can I ask you why you've never been promoted? Well, I work for this company and it's like they don't want to do this and they don't want to do that and they don't want to do this and they don't want to do that and this and that and this and that. Girl, you're not ready for directorship. You can't even solve your people solutions. You telling me that they stopped you? You haven't started thinking for yourself yet. You know how to drown, you don't know how to swim. And you can manage your drowning very well, but you haven't swam yet. I don't care if the solution is to move companies, you ain't swimming yet. Right? So many times we have to recommend and to give you guys a certification to help you. If you're a manager, every manager in here should take a Lean Six Sigma. LEAN. I'll show you. Why, Sid? Why you tell me to take the Lean Six Sigma? Because the Lean Six Sigma, they work like karate, white, yellow, green, black belt, right? But what it does is it teaches you how to reduce waste by streamlining processes, reduce defects by effectively solving problems. And so when you put them together, you're able to lean accelerate Six Sigma, solving problems and improving processes faster and more efficient. So if you want to be better at your management and you want to learn how to swim while drowning, you got to understand how to solve problems and improve processes at the same time. You got to be able to reduce defects by effectively solving problems. This is the drowning, but you also got to swim. You got to be able to reduce waste by streamlining the process while solving the problem. You got to drown, you got to swim while drowning in problems, but swimming to solutions, drowning in problems while swimming to solutions. Right? All right. Put a B in the chat if you following me. Did that make sense? Oops, 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 oops. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to do our career coachings now. I'm going to put the link in the chatty chat. We're going to talk about moving from coordinator and assistant to manager next week. But this is a good stopping point. Okay. But I'll let you guys make the decision. Do you guys want to talk about coordinating and assisting right now? Or do y'all want to see a career coaching live? Which one? I feel like career coaching live. So let me figure out how I invite my guests. Let me put it in the chat. Make me want to you now, nobody. Let me figure out where y'all at. Okay. All right. I'm about to put the link in the chat. Okay. I'm about to put the link in the chat. When I put the link in the chat, one of y'all got to click on the link and get on here. Okay. There goes the link. And you can click it in the chat. Even if you're on Facebook, change it. You don't got to log out, log back in, or wait until the live is over to click that link. Just click that link. I got to ask the girls if they can make it to where it's always the same link. I always wanted just one link. You see that? You see me coming up with an idea, y'all? I want it to where it's just one link. I don't want to have different links. So I don't want that. So they're gonna have to figure that out. I need to message them about that because I don't want to have to figure out I don't like that. Okay, so I got 3 people here. I got LaKendra, Nakia. All righty. And then y'all start asking these questions. So let me put this here. And I'm gonna start with LaKendra. Okay. Hi, LaKendra.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Okay, so what's your background? How long you been a bee?
Um, for about 6 months, I had a friend that sent it to me to join, so I joined. So about 6 months.
Okay, and I'll do Jamie Ripley next. Okay, Lexandra, let us know where you work at.
Okay, so right now, I work at Cigna as an eligibility rep. But I've been kind of all over the place.
Oh,
Um, I've had retail jobs where I was supervisor. I worked in human resource at Amazon, and I've also worked at a debt management company as a specialist.
okay, lots of people management roles.
Yes, but I am actually on my last term of college. So I'll be graduating with a bachelor's degree, business administration, with a
Okay,
minor in human resource.
okay.
I did take advantage of what Cigna offered. Originally, when I did it and I started last year, they was doing where they, um, if you go to college, once you have your diploma, your degree, they will promote you within. But now things have changed, so they're no longer promoting you within. Basically, you have to look, to see what's out there and go just like you, external employee.
Okay. Okay. So you done people management, you done retail, HR, you almost have, but basically you have a business admin with HR degree. And I know that when you're doing retail management, you're also doing a lot of like the operations that surround people, right?
Yes,
Are you above or below 60,000?
below,
Below
definitely.
60,000. Okay. How many years of people management experience do you have?
Ooh, I've been doing since I was about 16. I've been, yeah, so over 10
Oh,
years.
over 10 years? Okay.
Well over
So
10 years, yeah, well over 10 years.
okay, so you do retail management operations. And so right now you're a benefit specialist.
Yes, it's called eligibility specialist. It's like that entry level position that they have.
Oh, eligibility. Okay. And what's your role? What's your duty? How long you been there?
2 years.
What did you do before that?
Before that, I worked at it's a debt management company called Money Management. So I assisted customers or people get out of credit card debt.
What was your title?
It was what was the, debt management specialist.
How long were you there?
I was there 2 years.
2 years.
Hmm.
Okay. So eligibility, it's with benefits to see if they qualify.
It's basically doing their basically filling prescriptions, but you're looking up their medical insurance and their pharmacy insurance. So you're making sure it's going to pay for that medication that the doctor prescribed to them.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So you're doing, okay. So it is to make sure that they're in compliance with their insurance contract to ensure that they actually will have it covered, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Out of the duties that you've done in the past, which ones do you love?
Um, I definitely enjoyed the human resource. I enjoyed the supervisor positions. I'm a people person, so a little bit of all of them because I was working with different people from all over. But definitely, I enjoyed the human resource. I learned things. Um,
What do you
that
mean by
I didn't know
enjoy the
what went into
human?
play when it came down to human resource. So
What,
definitely that,
wait,
and then
wait, what
especially
do you, wait,
now
wait, wait,
since
wait, wait,
I've
wait.
done the basically almost finished with the degree. It makes sense what I was doing when I was at Amazon.
But let me ask you, because HR is there's 334 titles in
I
HR.
can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hold on, I can't hear you for some reason.
HR is there's 300. Oh yeah, I can hear you. They can hear me.
Oh, what happened? Hold on.
Oh, I can see you too.
It's like you went silent on me. Hold on. What happened?
Turn up your volume.
Oh, let's see.
Mm. Oh you have to come back. Okay, well, we wait for her to come back. I want to ask her that question, so I don't want to move on to ask her that question. Oh, where did Jamila go? Okay, Jamila not here anymore. Travis. I'm about to put Travis on. Oh no, Charita. Charita actually ready. Hey Charita.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. All right. How long you been with Black on the Job?
Probably about maybe 7, 8 months.
I like your locks.
Thank you, girl.
All right, Miss Sharita. What's your story?
I have actually been with the same company for the last 14 years.
Okay.
Uh, Started at entry level customer advocate. I moved up to experienced quality leader, made up name for assistant team leader, which
Oh,
is a made up name. And now I am for the last 3 years, I've been at. Okay, so let me give you this. It's a couple of different names for this. They call us team leads at some point, then they call us supervisors. But when I look at my title on the teams, it says manager consumer service operations.
are you above or below 75?
Bila.
Below.
Mhm.
How long have you been in this comms position?
I'm sorry, what position again?
A consumer operations manager.
3 years, a little over 3 years.
And do your duties have to do with like maybe the processes and stuff that the customers have to follow? You have a team and you're coming up with how does this work?
I am a true people manager. I have a team of 15 case managers that I'm in control of. I do their time every week. I do the coachings, feedback, um, do bi-weekly huddles. So yeah, I do corrective actions, all of that.
Okay. So I will go back to this page here. I didn't get to this part, but oh, I know that. So I'm sure you understood what I said about swimming while drowning, huh?
Mhm. Definitely.
So the beautiful thing about management is because you've solved every single problem, we then can decide what type of problems you want to be responsible for as far as getting paid to think your way out of it. When we're looking at people management, you have pathways. Like you said, you're doing talent and development, training and development, right?
Hmm.
So you can always pick one of your duties and flesh it out, right? Because we can always put you in that way and go into like, let's say, directing of a training program. That's always the easy route, right? We can look at maybe the SOP creation and policies and then put you as a director of operations. You can always go that route. Or what I like to do a lot of times that helps people get out of the people management portion, because if someone tells me they've been a true people manager, they got 15 people, they're under 75,000, you've been with the company 14 years, many times you're tired of people. Are you tired of folks?
I'm sick of them.
I know you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? And so none of these director level positions are, appealing. But the great thing is that another big portion of your management is the strategy portion, right? Within management is having to create all these solutions. So what we can always do is go on to the analytical side. So, what I mean by that is that because you've been the person who's had to analyze the problem in order to create the solutions, you can go into an analyst role, which will immediately put you at that 75,000 as a people and a performance analyst. And what we can do is you'll be that person that you're not in charge of managing people, but what you're in charge of is looking at the numbers from the people who manage the people and creating some visualizations around that and helping organizations understand what those numbers actually mean, right? So
Okay.
those are the people who are collecting and utilizing organizational, people, and talent data to enhance business outcomes. So HR, as you know, as a people manager, you all of your decisions are made from data driven insight, right? And so you have to make an informed decision, but someone needs to give you the insight on that and able to improve the performance. So imagine if, like how you said, you're doing talent development, scheduling, blah, 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 blah. After you've done that training and development and all that, if you were a performance analytics, you would then say, hey, here goes the manager, you now, right? Let's say if I took your space and I'm the manager, I dump all these numbers on you. We had 42 people in training. This was their background, blah, 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 blah. I'm giving you all this data. And then from there, you come back with one piece of paper and you say, okay, well, your team is currently trending this way. These are some different issues that's going to happen. If you keep trending this way, you won't have enough people staffed by October. If we don't have enough people staffed by October, this department will lose $20,000 in X, Y, and Z. And then that's it. Then it's up to the manager like you to be overworked and underpaid to solve that problem. As an analyst, you're paid to just find the problem.
Okay. Now, so let me ask you this question and be real with me. With no degree, can I get
Yeah,
there?
that's what I wanted to tell. Yeah, absolutely. If I were you with no degree at all, I don't be working with degrees, y'all. Y'all know I don't even have no degree, so I can't be telling y'all what's to do with the degrees. What I would do is I would put you in this Google data analytics course. It is $40 a month for 6 months, and that's only if you did 10 hours a week. It's flexible. You do it at your own pace. And what it will do is it teaches you all these skills on how to understand and organize different data, complete the analysis, and all that stuff. And the great thing about it is that the average salary of someone with that data, this where data is fluid. We're talking about people data, right? So we're
Mm-hmm.
taking all your years of people management, all your years of trying to figure out and strategizing and figuring things out, and we're showing you all the ways you've assessed, right? And we're putting you there. What that position ends up looking like. Let's see if we were to actually find one, right? Let's say you were a HR analyst, or yeah, we could say HR analyst job. Well, let me do it on LinkedIn. So I'll go to jobs and I will put in, you could do people analytics, right? People analyst. And then I click, here goes a compliance position right here, girl. They ain't even let me get good up in there. They ain't even let me get good up in there. Do, 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 do. Nope, no degree mentioned. I don't even get good up in there. This is someone dealing with HR compliance, 75 to 95,000, right? And let's look at the duties. What you'll be doing. What you do now, develop, implement, and maintain HR compliance metrics and track progress and audits for all programs. As a manager, you got to do this portion. And after you find a problem, analyze the problem, you then got to solve the problem, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But as an analyst, guess what she says she do? She communicates those findings to somebody else to solve. You see?
Okay.
Oh, you like that, huh? Look at this one. Coordinate and work with business partners to oversee the different audits and things like that. You don't see management team here, right?
Okay.
Compile and prepare regulatory reports, document them, but not included X, Y, and Z. You ain't got to manage nobody.
Hey, and I'm doing all that now. Okay.
That's why I said managers, you gotta learn how to swim while drowning. Then I say, okay, girl, you ain't gotta drown no more. We can just start swimming,
All
right?
right.
Regular
Okay.
reviews, employee handbook, all the stuff you're doing right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And provide employee and leader training. So look what that says. Reviews the handbook and the policies to make sure it's okay with employee law based on that and provide it to somebody else to the lead trainer, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, Look, here goes some management, but what are you managing? A process.
Not the people. Okay.
About people. And now look at this. Or work experience is acceptable.
I like it.
You like it?
It. Position. I never would have thought.
Yeah. It's so much easier because you have such a breadth of knowledge and you've been swimming while drowning for so long. For someone who's been at a company for 14 years, Sharita, you give me hope, girl. Because let me tell you something. Esther, she needs to be here for 14 years, or we won't be here for 14 years. That's number one. But you need to go where you're valued, right? And
Right.
so if you have not hit 75,000, that means in those 14 years, all the time that you've had to audit, analyze, assess, report, document, take it on the chin, fix somebody else's problems, come back, they messed up the problem you fixed, they refix it. All of that is not being valued. So what I was trying to do was what makes Sharita most valuable? When you told me 14 years and operational and you're a true people manager, I know a true people manager. 14 years shows a lot of dedication and passion, right? It also shows me a lot of complacency. But the complacency could be like, girl, I'm tired. You don't see the gray in my locks. So we
Or
gotta right. You're like, I'm not even salt and pepper girl. I'm letting it shake. Right. We're there now. So now that we're there, you need to be honored for that. That is a long time, right?
Mhm.
They probably see your kids, if you have kids, grow up and all types of stuff. You know,
Mhm.
you have a long history there. And so, what you have as your best skill is contingency planning, forecasting, and things like that. Because in order for you to be there 14 years, you didn't see things happen. And you probably got to the point where you're like, girl, ain't nothing new under the sun over here. I know when this happened, this usually happened. When this usually happened, this, but then John gonna call. Watch John. Up. Who just called? John,
Yep.
John. You talking to people, you see John calling. They're like, ha ha ha, Charita, you said that yesterday. You're there now. That means that you are a critical thinker, you're strategic, you have contingency planning. You pretty much can run that whole company if you truly wanted to, but y'all ain't even paying me enough to even pretend to not only run it, I don't want to walk it, crawl it, pull it, push it, nothing.
None of it.
So yes, go look into that Google certification and then look for roles like that. Come back and watch the live. You'll see what I put in. I didn't even get in there well and good. And you qualified yourself before we can even go through the duties. You say, "Oh, that's everything I do now."
Hmm.
Right. So you need to sign up for a resume review. Let them know I spoke with admin, said I know exactly where I want to go. Or if you do get a package, we'll go more into depth on where I pulled those skills from. I knew when you said consumer operations management, I used to work in telemarketing. So I did a lot with consumer business and attorney generals. So I kind of knew what you did. But yes, hopefully that was helpful.
Absolutely helpful. Yes, ma'am. And I thank
You're welcome. Enjoy your day.
you too.
Okay, guys, what y'all learned from Sharita? What y'all learned from Sharita? How many of y'all, as soon as she started talking, y'all said, "Oh, that was me"? Light bulb. Who had a light bulb moment? Put a light bulb on. I'm gonna go to Jamie next. Put a light bulb in the chat. Who had a light bulb moment? Yes. Yes. Okay. Hi, Jamie. Oh, I like your glasses.
Thank you. Thanks for
Oh,
so much for having this call. I appreciate it so much.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, what's going on? I do want to let you know your internet is not stable, so hopefully it don't drop on you.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Let me know. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, but I'm telling you, your screen is real shosty. I don't want it to drop on you like it dropped on the last girl. You gonna be
Okay.
mad, Jamie?
I know. Hopefully it won't, but I'll make this quick. So I
Yeah,
followed
go
everything you said for like the last couple years. I'm one of those people that pivoted from counseling and education over to HR. And so
Okay.
I am in an HR role now as an ER consultant, and I'm just trying to figure out. I love what I do. I'm an individual contributor, and so I
You say
coach
you're
managers,
ER consultant?
employee relations consultant, and
Okay,
human
okay,
resources.
okay, okay.
And so I'm just trying to figure out what I need to do far as, because I want to eventually climb up as like a director or and eventually get up in the C-suite. So I just advice about how do I need to position myself.
But your title now is ER consultant? Oh,
Oh
Jamie, I told you.
no, I think it hung
Uh, uh, I'm
up.
going to tell Jamie because I know Jamie will come back and watch it.
Are you still there?
Jamie, I am there. You're not there.
No.
As an as an
Okay.
ER
Can you
consultant,
hear me?
let me. I can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was about to message you in the chat. I can hear you. Are you
Is
above
it
or
my
below?
relations
Ooh,
consultant?
hers. Okay, hers is not going to work. So I'm gonna have to talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you right here, Jamie. I'm a message. I'm a ask you here. Are you above or below
Are you still there?
75?
I think my internet is froze up. Sorry. We have
Okay.
storms where I'm at
And
right
for an
now.
employee relations consultant, what's happening for those of us who work in HR, and we're going to have to do another live on this because y'all don't be believing me, but I'll let y'all do what y'all want to do, is that more than likely it's not you, it's your resume and the type of roles you're applying to. And so you don't have to do anything else but have your resume. Let me show you. You need to have your resume formatted for people operation roles within um, director of people operations, uh, a pod leader. You need to be a pod leader. That's why I call them people operations. And let me show you. So what's happening is that a lot of companies are switching from traditional HR into people operational roles. And so you having a consultant title, you can move into a director of people role, but you have to take out the traditional HR language from your resume and move it into more of an equity based, employee value based resume. So wherever you have compliance enforcement, liability, it has to show more about maximizing employee value, consulting on strategic decisions, and participating in dialogue versus informing of decisions and instructions to carry them out. So HR is kind of being done with, and that industry is phasing out. And so, for those of you guys who are in HR but haven't shipped over to people ops, you're getting left out the conversation. You need a resume that's for a pod leader. You sign up for your resume. I believe we already have your resume. So sign up for a career change resume, and you need a pod resume. You need a people operations director of people resume, and it needs to concentrate on these duties instead. So right now you're in an analytical position because a consultant is an analyst. So you're verifying, performing duties and all that great stuff, but you need to be at the senior level where you're tasked with developing and implementing people policies, procedures, and initiatives. So your duties will have to show this, which you're already doing. I'm sure, Jamie, when you come back and watch this, you're providing leadership, ensuring the organizations have effective recruiting process, hiring, training, and supervising staff. But the issue is that your resume probably reads more like the left side and you need to move it to the right. So it's not you, it's your resume. Sign up. I believe you already have a resume on file with us. So you just need to sign up for the career change resume option and you'll be fine. You don't need career coaching. You literally just need a new resume. Okay. All right, guys. Let me stop sharing. Okay. Okay. How are you guys? How many of y'all feel like I need to do my career coaching now? Which how y'all feeling? Y'all feel like, girl, I need to do my career coaching now. How many of y'all feel that way? That's why I'm gonna put my little link right there in the hive. It will do you guys so much good to sign up for career coaching or get your resume done for these reasons. As y'all can see, this is where a lot of times this is where the knowledge is that we understand what those duties look like and how to truly conceptualize that process for you guys. Okay. Go ahead. And y'all need to go ahead and sign up for, you're welcome, Jamie. Sign up for your career coaching. I just put the link in the chat so y'all can sign up for services so we can help you guys. It's the background knowledge that we have on how these things talk and look like each other that helps you guys become more successful, right? Oh my gosh. Okay. This was a good ass live. I'm definitely putting this one on our YouTube. Who learned in here today? Who felt like they learned in here today? Y'all was learning? Was y'all learning y'all something? Yeah, y'all need to come and sign up. Y'all see, I be having the sauce, the honey. Okay, to get y'all the money. Y'all need to come on in. I had a great time speaking to you, Sharita. Oh gosh. Jamie. I love you guys. I'm so happy when I get to see you guys on camera. Nakia, I'm going to put a message to Esther that you will be the person that I'll choose next week for the free career coaching. And if not, then I'll offer you a free session. It's okay, Jamie. Of course, Khadijah. Okay, guys. Okay, Tip. I'm gonna keep it on, and I'm also going to put it on our YouTube account. So sign up for services. This is why we exist. I'm so happy to talk to you guys. And remember to keep me in your prayers, y'all. I still got this maniac on the loose. So we're doing all that we can as a family. And I'm working with 3 different courts right now. We're doing all that we can. I'm almost at the end. So once I get closer to the end, I will be able to get some real sleep. I'm starting to get bags under my eyes, y'all. But we're going to keep trucking through. And we'll be able to do more of our initiatives soon as I can get some peace. So keep me in y'all prayers. Book y'all services, y'all. We're getting close to the end. And I'm so happy that we're able to spend this time. No matter what's going on, I always want to make sure that I can continue to serve my community. That's my only goal. I want to serve my community and help my people. So hopefully, you guys learned a lot today. I promise I'm gonna have marketing come up with something for that. I'm staying as safe as I can. My brother's here with me, guys. So we'll get through this one step at a time. One step at a time. But today, we learned that if you're a manager and you're drowning, you got to learn how to drown and swim at the same time. We now know why chief levels get paid to be, and we now understand why directors always have an attitude. Okay? I'm going to put this on our YouTube by tonight. I wish you guys lots of love, peace, and honey, and I'll see y'all next week.